be prepared to get triggered because you just know it's inevitable. Beginning with last place in the NFC West, where I have the Seattle Seahawks. so that's how we're getting started. So my first prediction of the entire year was the Super Bowl favorites to come in last place in their own division. Oh, why do I do this? So yes, unfortunately for yours truly, I'm reacting to my preseason NFL predictions. Honestly, just to see how stupid I was. I hope to God, there are some banger predictions within this video. But also remember, there are some very bad predictions that I made that I think is going to end up costing me money today. Now, how funny is this actually, though? Like, they're genuinely, currently, the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. And the very first thing I get out of my mouth after saying I'm going to make up for last year's stinker predictions is I had the Super Bowl favorites coming in last place in their own division. I have a really bad feeling this is indicative of what we're about to witness the rest of this video. I promise you my IQ's above 60. So what a hot take to start this one off. Now, don't... It was a very hot take. I'm really curious to hear my reasoning behind this. Get me wrong here. I do not think the Seahawks are going to be a bad team. I think they weren't a bad team. Victim here to the NFC West, sneakily, in my opinion, being one of the deepest divisions in all of football. See, like, there's some decent takes within the bad, you know? Because I was right. I was very right. The NFC West, by far, the deepest division in all the NFL. But I obviously picked the wrong team to have a stinker out of the four. Shift form at the quarterback position this offseason, moving on from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold. And with that move, I really don't think the Seahawks are going to see much change in production at the quarterback position. I don't think they're going to be much worse. I don't think they're going to be much better. I mean, Geno wasn't bad in Seattle, but I think it's safe to say that Sam Darnold performed better this season than what Geno Smith did his last year or so in Seattle. So that wasn't like the worst take in the world, but I still feel dumb. I think the bigger impact that'll be felt is the loss of DK Metcalf to the Steelers. Oh, gosh. So, like, yeah, but no. Like, just JSN got more targets, so it was the best receiver in football. So all that did was just let them pivot to JSN getting all the targets, and, like, obviously it was the right decision. Grandfather Cooper Kupp, who is still at this point in his career, I think, a pretty solid receiver. He didn't do much. He's a really good DK Metcalf replacement. At the same time, I do expect to see a massive step forward from Jackson Smith-Njigba this season. I told you guys. I wasn't a moron. Completely, anyway. I think he's honestly going to be maybe even a top 5 receiver in terms of production this year. Now, disclaimer, I was a smart boy. See, like, there was a lot of truth within there. But again, at the same time, like, I wish upon that truth, I didn't put the Seahawks in last place. So right now, my IQ level is about, like, 90, I'd say. Which means in third place, I have the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, like, that's pretty bad, isn't it? Considering 1, 2, and 3 finished with, what, like, an average of 12 wins each? What was my reasoning? I'm not gonna lie, the Cardinals are a tricky one. I think I'm always a little bit higher on the Cardinals than the rest of the league out there. With Kyler and those weapons, I feel like they have a lot of upside, a lot of potential, but just haven't really been able to meet it the last few years. I mean, that's kind of true. That's the ugliest face I've ever seen in my life. Like, I didn't know Kyler was gonna get hurt after the first month of the season. It's not like that really would have helped much, though. Drinking the Kool-Aid again. Like, I know that doesn't mean much. Put him in third place here, but in a really good division, that's still gonna get him a wild card spot. Not even close. Not even freaking close. I promise you, I'm never gonna pick the Cardinals any higher than last place until they prove me wrong. If Kyler can finally reach his potential. He got hurt. I feel like if he has the best years that he's capable of having, I mean, he's an MVP caliber player on it. I've felt this way like the last 5 years, and I no longer at all. I think he's actually gonna get traded. I would be willing to bet he's not the Cardinals starting quarterback next year. Who is it going to be? I don't know. It's right, Dave, if you can play consistent like that the entire season. Has already arguably one of the best tight ends in the league in Trey McBride. Trey McBride's a monster. We're going to see a massive step forward from. But he's only a monster when Jacoby Brissett was starting. So honestly, it would not be shocked if they finished higher than third, but I think for now, shut up! Stop talking! Which in second place, which was a very tough decision, I have who might surprise you. Come on. The San Francisco 49ers. Okay, so, like, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, brother, I was a little off here. I should have flipped them. Francisco 49ers. The problem with the man, they're just so banged up right now, dude. And they were banged up all season long, but still made the playoffs. Again, what is his face? I look like a freaking alien. Brock, in my opinion, is overly hated. I love him as a quarterback, but legitimately, he is going to have to prove this season he can win with not the best of talent around him. I mean, Brock had a good year, I feel like. I don't know how much it helped his case when Mac Jones stepped in when Brock got hurt and played pretty gosh dang well, but I still feel like Brock, maybe he had a good season. The 49ers will be a good football team, and I do think, I mean, if anything, they're going to get a wild card spot. I was right there, at least. I think they're going to be as good as who I have in first place, and that being... You know what, man? It was just a typo. My editor got it wrong. I totally had the Seahawks in first, Cardinals in last. Jared Verse is legitimately a player. I would not be surprised if he broke out this year and even won a defensive player of the year. Okay, so I think I might have been a year early on that. He had a good year. Maybe next year, though, in the defensive player of the year. It's coming, though. It's coming. I have the ugliest pause face on the planet. Like, it's impossible for me to pause a video on myself and I'd be making, like, a flattering face. Obviously, Matthew Stafford still, in my opinion, I mean, quite easily a top 10 quarterback in the league. Yep, maybe even the top quarterback in the league, as he's probably going to win MVP. They lost Cooper Kupp, who hasn't been too effective the last few seasons. Obviously, didn't really hurt him much. Some other things, man, they replace him with Devontae Adams, and I would not be shocked if this guy puts up Cooper Kupp numbers from 2021. Okay, he's having a good year. Got hurt, wasn't necessarily putting up 2021 Cooper Kupp numbers, but it's a good year for Devontae. I don't know if the Rams make as far as he did without him. One division down. I take it how you want to take it. It might get worse from here, although I don't really know if that's possible. But, like, you're not going to bat 100, man. And, like, outside of the Seahawks, you know, stinker there, admittedly. But outside of that, like, I'm not too upset. Like, I got everybody else in order. Oh, man, we're one division down, and I can only imagine how many people were down in the comments screaming at me already. Let me see. I'm gonna go check the comments on this. Sort by newest. 40 seconds in, he put the Super Bowl favorites in last. It can't get worse, right? Again, look at his face. I look like a Death Eater from Harry Potter. Like, I don't look like that all the time, do I? I'm a Madden YouTuber, dude. Like, don't take what I say too seriously. I'm a moron. Oh, that was the smartest thing I have said all day so far. Oh God, the NFC South. I don't remember who I picked. I probably had the Panthers in last. So I am almost 100% certain I'm going to get this prediction correct in the NFC South. As in last place, I have the New Orleans Saints. Hey, yo. Not too terrible. They came on strong at the end of the season, but at least it feels good that I am not 0 for 1 in a division for once. Even as a Titans fan, coming off having the #1 pick, meaning we were the worst team in the league last year, I am overly confident in saying that I don't believe we're going to be even close to as bad as what the Saints are going to be this year. I mean, of course, like, it's always like that. I make a good pick for once, and then I say something directly after that discredits everything I said. We can just pretend the Titans didn't lose to the Saints this season. I mean, who's going to be their quarterback? Tyler Shucks? I don't like how I said that. Can we just cut it? Just cut that out. So, the reasoning was a little off. Tyler Shucks seems like he's going to be pretty decent, but at least I'm 1 for 1. I don't think I'm going to finish 100% though in this division because I feel like I have the Panthers third. Let's see. Which brings us to third place, which honest to God was very tough. The NFC South is normally pretty easy to predict, but this year, absolutely not. This one hurts, and this one easily could be one I get wrong, but in third place, I do have the Carolina Panthers. Oh! I mean, like, if we're being honest, there was a big tie for first place. So, like, how was I supposed to know the tiebreakers? They're going to be a fun football team, don't get me wrong. I don't feel like that's a correct assessment. They were actually very boring. There's like the 2 games every year where Bryce Young goes off, but outside of that, like their games are relatively boring. I feel like they're gonna be drastically improved from last year. They made the playoffs. Surprisingly, in a division that's normally pretty rough, pretty bad. I think third place in this division still could fight for a wild card spot. I think we are going to see. They won the division, made the playoffs. On top of Ted McMillan, Adam Thielen has been a super consistent, reliable receiver for Bryce up to this point. So he should have never got traded. Again, like I look like a pumpkin. Hold up, boys, and stop what you're doing, because your next big hit might just be one click away. As Arena Club has turned the entire trading card grind into instant fun, instant rips, instant reveals, and instant flex. No boxes to hunt down, no grading waiting times, most importantly, no headaches. Just real graded cards delivered straight from digital to your door. Arena Club lets you open digital packs starting at just $25, but with real graded cards inside, including grails worth 20 times the pack price. One click, instant reveal with a real slab in your showroom. Every slab pack shows you exactly what's inside and the pull rates before you buy, so no mystery BS. And the moment you rip a pack, Arena Club will instantly offer you cash for your card based on its fair market value. You can hold it flex it, auction it, or take the offer right now. And Arena Club drops insane specialty packs all week long, including this Charizard only pack. Now, every specialty drop lasts 48 hours or until inventory's gone, whatever comes first. So make sure you turn their notifications on or you might miss something crazy. I actually ripped a few packs myself earlier, got some pretty nasty pack pulls. As it's always a ton of fun ripping slab packs on Arena Club, really gives me that nostalgic feeling back from my childhood. And right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by using code RBT at arenaclub.com/RBT. Xavier Legette plays up to his potential. This is a squad that can surprise everybody and win 10 games this season. Okay, they surprised everybody and won the division. Didn't quite get to the 10 wins though, but I still feel like that's a good season for him. I mean, I'm obviously recording this before the playoffs even begin, so for all we know, Panthers could go win the freaking Super Bowl. Which takes us to second place, which again was such a tough decision. Really just kind of came down to a coin flip here. Really could go either way, but as of right now, in second place, I'm gonna give the edge to the Atlanta Falcons. There's a three-way tie. I can't really be that upset at the way I predicted the standings in the NFC South. I do think this Falcons offense is going to be nasty this season. I'm a big believer in Michael Penix. I think he's going to have a big breakout year. I think we don't have to touch on that. Drake London also is going to have a massive
He did until he got hurt.
Even be an offensive player of the year discussion. Same can be said about Bijan Robinson. I think even though it's going to be hard to top last year, I think he's going to have the best year of his career to this point. I think he's just gonna get better and better. And
at least I was right on that.
Last couple seasons has been pass rush. Went heavy at edge in the draft. Got some really good young
James Pierce was a beast.
Rush. It just really comes down to how well Michael Penix plays this season.
Didn't play well. Didn't at all.
How do you guys feel about that? I just don't Penix looks good sometimes. When he looks bad, he looks bad. So is he cooked? I think they're gonna give him another shot next year, but kind of do or die next season. So I have him first place in the this prediction set looked good for the first month and a half of the season. The Buccaneers, Baker just fell off out of nowhere. But I'm not too mad at this NFC South prediction. Wide receiver core of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Emeka Egbuka is insane.
Can we talk about what happened to Egbuka?
Looked like an offensive player of the year candidate after a month. And then some of the receivers come back healthy, then Baker falls off, and he ends the season as wide receiver 4. Was he injured? Oh god, the AFC West. I don't even want to know what I predicted here. Why do I feel like I had the Broncos in last? I'm scared. Now, for the first time today, takes us into the AFC. We're in the AFC West in last place. Another spot where I believe is one of the easiest decisions of the entire day.
Gotta be the Raiders. Gotta be.
In last place, I have the Las Vegas.
Yes! Yes!
Proving before our eyes that I'm not as dumb as Eric Rayweather. And hey, at the same time, I got a rare pause where I don't look like I'm drunk. Hold up, I say that, and I also want to say, I don't think the Raiders are going to be as bad as a lot of people believe.
You remember what I said earlier about when I say something that makes me feel smart and immediately follow it up with a statement that lowers my IQ by 10 points?
I think they easily could surprise some people and win.
Shut up. Nah, I'm skipping.
Which takes us into third place. And again, the AFC West.
Don't be the Broncos.
Don't be the Broncos. Dude, this is a tough one. Another toss up here. In third place, again, this spot could be good enough for a wild card spot, but I do have the Los Angeles Chargers. Not horrible. Not horrible. I don't think anybody could have predicted who actually ended up coming in third place, but I'm not too mad at this. Would have been a lot more upset if I'd picked the Broncos here. They're just such a tricky team, dude. I say this, have them in third place. They easily could beat out the Chiefs for first place.
That's true. If they would have not had their entire offensive line die, maybe they could have won the division.
A nasty duo at the running back position, especially when you consider they might have the best offensive line in all of football.
Like I said, they can't help it. They lost both their freaking tackles. Why does Joe look like such a nice guy?
Love the addition of Trey Harris in the draft. I have a feeling he's going to have a massive season as a
makes
rookie.
Me sad. Maybe he could turn out decent, but he didn't have that massive rookie season, did he?
I really think, again, this team at bare minimum wins 9 games.
Hey! What'd they finish with, 11? I said bare minimum 9 games. They won 11. So, at least I got the win total right. Accurately predicted them to make the playoffs. Just, the one team that remains that I have not predicted yet that just had kind of a worse season than what we all thought. Kind of screwed this entire division up.
Which in second place, you probably could have guessed at this point, I have the Kansas City Chiefs.
Kidding. I actually thought I was smart for a second. and then immediately said I'm kidding. Like it's always, I always say something, I get so excited that I actually feel smart, and then I pull off some nonsense.
I'm kidding. You have the Broncos.
I should have just, I should have cut that. I should just actually go back, use the YouTube feature to edit that part out.
Arguably the NFL's most surprising team last year. They were supposed to suck. They were great with what, like $70,
what a
$80
coach
million in
Sean
dead
Payton
cap.
is, by the way.
Wasn't how good of a head coach this guy is. Like, how insane was it that Bo Nix was so good as a rookie with the terrible weapons that
pretty
he had?
decent as a sophomore,
solid
too.
Option in RJ Harvey. Addition they did make, I think, is gonna make a massive difference. And that is Pat Bryant. I believe he was their 3rd round selection. And guys, I just have
okay,
a
rookie year.
He's
coming on late before
you
you got hurt.
Best draft selections of the last season. I really do think this guy's gonna hit the ground running and turn into
heavy of a statement there.
Very solid receiver. At bare minimum, a good wide receiver number 2 to Cortland Sutton. The thing
maybe long term,
scary, man.
maybe next year.
Their defense is gonna be arguably the best in the NFL.
Best in the NFL.
I just don't think it's
Absolutely.
enough quite yet to overcome the Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean, I just don't think anybody thought the Chiefs were going to suck that bad. Like, honestly, the last few years, I had predicted the Chiefs not to win the Super Bowl, and they always competed for the Super Bowl, and I was like, this year, it's just the Chiefs is going to happen. Yes, all. They didn't.
Chiefs are the Chiefs, man. Made it to the Super Bowl last year. Obviously, I know they got blown out. I was there. But I think that blowout loss in the Super Bowl is just going to give them even more motivation to go out and have a massive year. Patrick Mahomes with a chip on his shoulder is not a good thing for the rest of the National Football League.
Which, to be fair, Mahomes, like, individually had one of his best seasons in probably the last 3 or so, but defense was stinky, no running game at all.
Uriah should be back and healthy. Like, if he didn't get hurt last year, dude, things could have changed drastically.
Which it definitely didn't help that he got suspended for the first month of the season, you know, for recklessly driving an automobile.
Because Kelsey slimmed down a little bit in the offseason as well, so I think we'll see him return a little bit closer to, you know, his normal form. I don't know if he'll ever be as good as what he was in his prime, but I think he'll be better than what he was last year. And their big issue a year ago, which was exposed in the Super Bowl, was that offensive line, dude. It was terrible. They made a big investment by selecting Josh Simmons in the first round.
Josh Simmons was great, by the way. That's very true. That's a true statement. They just randomly take an offensive tackle into the first round, and he's probably going to be their best offensive lineman within a year or two, if he's not already, outside of maybe Creed Humphrey. Oh, AFC West is over with. I'm scared. Not gonna lie, fellas, I believe this is where I'm gonna have to cough up some money. I told you guys in the intro, I think I wagered some bets throughout this prediction video, and this might be where I have to pay up.
AFC, moving on to my Tennessee Titans division in the AFC South, where no, I don't have my Titans in last place. Bite me on that. I'm actually gonna put money where my mouth is on it for now. In last place, bite me if you disagree, I have the Indianapolis Colts.
Hear me out for a second. Again, you're never gonna bat 100. And I'm pretty positive. I'm not for sure. I might have got the rest of the division right. I mean, like, I didn't think my Titans were gonna suck that bad. We'll get into it in just a minute. But the Colts, they, at the beginning of the season, this looked about as bad as my Seahawks pick. Obviously, they fell off hard second half of the season. Big reason why Daniel Jones got hurt. I think I'm about to say some bad stuff about Mr. Danny Dimes. I apologize in advance. Never did I think making this prediction video Phillip Rivers was going to end up starting by the end of the season. So if you'd have told me when I was making this video that Phillip Rivers was going to be their starter, I would have been more confident about this last place finish. But I was kind of right, but very wrong with who I have in third place.
I just don't like what's going on in Indy right now. I really think this could be Chris Ballard's last season, and
it's
honestly,
not. He's coming back next year.
Fans be happy about that.
The Colts fans are livid. He's coming back.
I know he's only like 22 years old. I know he's younger than half the rookies from a year ago. Don't trust the health of his shoulder.
I didn't trust his shoulder. I didn't expect him to break his eye with a rubber band. Won't you guys let me know in the comments? I know there's still some hardcore Anthony Richardson stands. I know he's only like 23, but I would be shocked at this point if he ended up turning into a quality starting quarterback. And maybe somebody tries to develop him, he gets a fresh start, and he starts a season, see how he does, but I don't think he's ever going to be a top quarterback.
Actually, I'm disappointed in myself for backtracking.
It's a true story.
When I did my quarterback rankings going into his rookie season, I talked about how bad I thought he was going to be and how overrated he was. Was so
actually right for once.
Super raw traits.
Didn't he look good in college? And then I backtracked after like a week or two, and he looked okay. And then he just turned out to be what I thought he was. And I let the mob get to me. I'm the ugliest man on the planet. I mean, honest to God, would not shock me at all if Daniel Jones ended up the actual starter for the Colts in week 1. Yo, I told you. In the midst of all the nonsense that I spew, there's always a hidden gem in there. Alec Pierce is Alec Pierce. Nothing special, but... Okay. That was wrong. Alec Pierce is good. And Alec Pierce is probably going to get paid $20 million a season. So, my Daniel Jones take immediately negated by my Alec Pierce take. It always happens. I just wish I could learn how to shut up. At the same time, on defense, man, I just don't think it's a good unit. I have a pretty good secondary. That's very true. Their defense was bad. Bad. It's a very, very average overall unit. I just don't think they have any chance of finishing any higher than last place this year. Which does bring us to 3rd place. Oh, God. Which I have the Houston Texans. Unfortunately, I am kidding. This is where I got scared. I have my Tennessee Titans. So at least I didn't have my Titans above 3rd place, but obviously, we almost ended up with the number 1 pick yet again. Wasn't for a couple miraculous victories, we probably should have finished with the number 1 pick yet again. So I was wrong, and we have to listen because again, I think I'm gonna have to spend some money on something. Like I said, I am putting money where my mouth is, fellas. God. If my Titans finish in last place for a 2nd consecutive season, I will give $500.
Oh!
That is a top comment below.
I just had to pay $6,000 to have my sewage system replaced. Why? Why? What's the top comment? You need to donate to the Colts charity if the Titans come in last. Hopefully this counts. This is the Colts Kicking the Stigma Foundation. Can't be too upset. $500 going to a good cause. And forfeit officially complete. Thanks a lot, Titans.
A big believer in Cam Ward. He might struggle this first season. I don't know.
He did struggle his first season, but saw a lot of flashes. As a Titans fan, I still am way more confident than not that he's a franchise quarterback. A lot of like simple stuff that he's got to clean up. He can do the Patrick Mahomes type stuff, no problem. Like that's what he's comfortable doing. He's just not too comfortable yet doing the simple stuff. And I feel like once he actually has a real coach, Cam Ward will become a top 10 quarterback, I believe. If not top 5. Give him a couple seasons though.
Now, he's not stepping into the best of situations, obviously. I still don't know how much I believe in Brian Callahan.
Worst coach of my life. But I'm very excited to see who we hire in the upcoming weeks, man, because I'm like telling you, give Cam Ward a halfway competent coaching staff and the sky is the limit.
Not many bright spots in the team, not gonna lie.
Very true.
Let's say maybe Calvin Ridley.
Shut up!
This down too. I think Calvin Ridley might have the best statistical season of his career. He's gonna be
I already knew what I was gonna say because I remember that vividly. Calvin Ridley started off the season stinky, then he broke his leg. Will he be able to have a second year with Cam Ward? I don't know. I'm still a Calvin Ridley believer, although he made me look dumb this year. Bad Calvin.
But who's gonna step up behind him? Because he's probably gonna be the wide receiver too. Is it gonna be Alec Iomanner? Is it gonna be Xavier Restrepo? Is it gonna be Chimere Dike? Just kind of a bleak.
The wide receiver room was terrible. Titans wide receivers this season after Calvin really got hurt, I'm not even trolling you, might be the worst wide receiver room in probably the last 20 years. Although Chim Dike is a Pro Bowler, potentially an All-Pro, mainly because his skills as a kick returner. But overall, I don't know if Alec Iomanner or Chim Dike is going to end up being, a long-term option for the Titans at the receiver position. But having 2 4th-round rookies as their wide receiver 1 and 2 is just a big reason why Cam didn't, have the best rookie season.
I know I harped on my team for a long time. I'm just excited for the season, dude. I don't know, just bite me.
It's just like, looking back, I was such an excited boy. Little did I know, it was about to be 4.5 months of pure misery. Alright, that was enough of that, dude. $500 in the hole. I don't remember if I had any other bets. Hopefully not, because that's a half a grand gone just like that. But hopefully I feel better. Hopefully I at least got second place right.
That brings us to second, which again, this was really tough. And this is actually where I have the Houston Texans.
Oh!
The first in what, 2
got that right
now?
at least.
There is one reason, and one reason only, I had the Texans in second and not first. That's because of how bad their offensive line is, man. They got even worse than last year. Still gonna be good though, and they still could snag a wild card spot. I mean, I think
that's my saving grace.
Really had a sophomore slump last year.
Playoffs? Via the wild card?
I just don't know how far the team can go with the offensive line. Joe Mixon.
Again, I don't know if they're going to be able to make it any... I don't know if they'll win a playoff game just because of how bad the offensive line is, but we'll see.
By far, I believe, the best pass rush in the division.
That's true,
really
at least.
At the point in the National Football League, where if you have a bad offensive line, you can only go so far.
It's kind of true, which is why, like, the Chargers, even though Justin Herbert's been fine this year, I just do not expect the Chargers to be able to win a playoff game. That offensive line is so bad. I think I've given up, 30-something sacks this season, I believe? So it feels good, you know, to at least get one pick correct.
I don't know why. I just have a whim. I got the Jags in first. I just really do like their head coach hire, Liam Cohen. I just,
like, should I just stop there? I feel like I should just stop there so you don't hear me say anything dumb now. Yeah, this is just a good minute and a half, 2 minutes talking about how good Trevor Lawrence is, talking about how good that defense is, and definitely talking about how good Parker Washington is. So let's just not waste our time here. So in recap, just a perfect 1-2 in the AFC South. Who cares about that 3rd and 4th place I got wrong? My bank account, obviously.
All these divisions have been tough to predict up to this point. Let me tell you, the NFC North, I believe, is the hardest division to predict in all of football.
I'm scared.
Not even close. Really, all 4 teams could finish in either of the positions.
I am so scared. This is one of those divisions, once again, that obviously wasn't separated by way too much, but I feel like this might be worse than my Seahawks pick. Oh, God, here goes
Whoever
nothing.
I have here in last place wouldn't be shocked if they came in first.
At least I said that.
As a fan of a team in the AFC South, I would believe the 4th place team in the NFC North would more than likely win the AFC South. So there you go.
I was wrong, probably.
NFC North, I have the Minnesota Vikings. Sole reason.
That wasn't that bad of a pick, was it?
And I promise you, sole reason is because of the unknown in J.J. McCarthy.
Pretty good reasoning there. J.J. wasn't that good.
I think he'll be good, but you just don't know. And when this division is so hard to predict, that unknown makes it hard to put them anywhere higher than last. If he has a good season, they can win the division. Obviously,
I'm not mad at this pick.
It also sucks from a 3rd place team.
Oh, God,
I'm sorry,
who's this?
Tom Grossi. This is where I have the Packers. Again, the big question mark here.
Not that far off.
Wide receiver in the 1st round, and Matthew Golden.
Matthew Golden. What was the point? What was the point in drafting him?
Tucker Kraft has potential to be a top 10 tight end by the end of the year. Defense, too.
He was a top 10 tight end before he got hurt.
Pass rush should be good. Outside of Xavier McKinney.
Oh, I forgot. This was before they traded for Micah Parsons.
Again, 3rd place in the NFC North still might be good enough for a wild card spot.
And they obviously made the wild card. I mean, again, can I be too angry at predictions like this that I got wrong when, like, literally I got them wrong by a tiebreaker or by a literal tie? I'm more worried about who I had winning the division more than anything. I think I got it wrong.
Now to our controversial 2nd place team in the North, where I have the Chicago Bears. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid and Johnson. What a fit with the weapons that they have. I think Caleb Williams is going to break out.
Already a top 5 coach in the league, I feel like.
Room, though, brother, scary. DJ Moore. Roma Dunze, I think, is going to have a breakout year. And they got
it looked like it for a month, maybe, and then he just fell off a cliff, got hurt.
The talented Luther Burden. Now as a wide receiver 3 in the 2nd.
Luther Burden, man, came on strong last month or so. Now, he didn't do much to start this season, but I think he could take over that wide receiver 1 role. And the scary thing about Ben Johnson is that he's just in year 1 as a head coach. I think he's just gonna get better, especially with that young core around him. Caleb Williams just going into year 3. I mean, again, at this point in time, for all I know, the Bears go win the Super Bowl. I don't think so. And if you want to know who I think is gonna win the Super Bowl, you can watch my NFL playoff predictions. Although I don't know why you'd give that much weight after getting to this point in this video. But regardless of what happens with the Bears, I think the journey is just getting started with Ben Johnson, this franchise. It just makes too much sense on paper. This is a paper pick. It just makes too much sense for them not to finish in 2nd place. And the reason I think I felt like that, I was a little cautious making this pick. I think the year before Caleb's rookie season, I think I had them making the playoffs, maybe like a wild card spot, and that made me feel dumb for drinking the Kool-Aid. Ben Johnson made me drink it again, and at least this time I was partially right. I think I had them making the playoffs, just, you know, not in 1st place, obviously. Which obviously leads the Detroit Lions to win the division once again. What do you want from me, man? The problem is that not only did I pick the Lions to win the division, it's going to get much, much worse a little bit later. Definitely took some hits on that offensive line. But, like, nobody had thought they were going to come in last place. Like, bite me, dude.
The same offensive pace they have the last few years.
I mean, they were literally, what, a game out of 2nd place and a playoff berth? Again, bite me, dude.
Contributing to the overall success of that offense. That is the big question mark. But at this point in time, I've just learned not to question Dane Campbell, man. I still think
they'll make the playoffs next year. Watch.
It'll be close. I wouldn't be shocked if they did win the division. That was right. Again, what was it? The difference in a game or two? Yeah, so if the Lions literally win one more game, they're in second place. I think they get a wild card spot. They were 2 games out of first place. So, like, again, I'm not mad at this, even though I didn't get a single one of these spots right. Like, they were all decided by 2 games. 1 game different here and there, and this all could have been completely different. So, like, all these teams finished plus 500, just like I thought. Like, I thought this was going to be one of the best divisions in football, hence why the Vikings would have made the playoffs if they are in, you know, the NFC South. Now, the problem is, like, I'm thinking ahead, going to next season, this will probably, once again, be the hardest division to pick. Good division. Wouldn't be surprised if one of these 2 teams ended up making the conference championship. Again, like, nothing would shock me in this division. If the Lions came in last place with, like, 8-9 wins, would not be surprised. Wait, whoa, what did I just say? Again, like, nothing would shock me in this division. If the Lions came in last place with, like, 8-9 wins, would not be surprised. Hey, I told you, in the midst of all my nonsense, there's always a hidden gem. It takes our journey to the AFC East. No. Oh, God. I think I've said, oh, God, to every single division popping up on my screen, but I have a feeling I got 4th place correct and the other spots completely wrong. I don't think I had the Patriots winning, but let's see. Last place, I had the New York Jets. Not too stupid. I really don't think it'll be close. I really just think it's kind of a bridge year. That was right. Not even freaking close. Fields. His weapons are very scarce outside of Garrett Wilson, who I do think, at least for fantasy purposes, is going to have a great year. He's going to have 1 million targets. Right? He was having a great year until he got hurt. Like, there's no point even listening to this. The team's terrible. Like, it's just horrible. I mean, I think we all know the defense hasn't been the problem with the Jets. Like, the Jets are the one thing that makes me feel good as a Titans fan, because at least I know there's another organization out there that's more incompetent than us. Takes us into my 3rd place pick, which I have the Miami Dolphins. Let's talk about them getting Minkah Fitzpatrick. Brother, 2 for 2. Maybe even a bigger question mark than the cornerback position, the offensive line. A common theme today, your offensive line isn't good. More than likely, not going to predict your team to finish in 1st place. And the thing was with the Dolphins, it really came down to quarterback play. Obviously, it took a big hit when Tyreek Hill broke his leg in half. But Tua, more than anything, was one of the big problems. I mean, the team turned around and had a really good second half of the season. Crazy Mike McDaniels got fired. But my reasoning was a little off, but it feels really, really good deep inside. Feeling really warm and fuzzy right now. But I actually got the 4th and 3rd place team correct. But I think that's where it's going to end, though, unfortunately. 2nd place, I have the New England Patriots. As a Titans fan, man, Mike Vrabel, I feel like this is the perfect fit. I was a big Mike. I feel not too upset picking the Patriots coming in 2nd. I don't think anybody thought they were going to win the division. I don't remember if I thought they were going to make the playoffs or anything. Not having them in 3rd or 4th after the season they had a year ago, I can't be mad at that pick. This still just makes me so sad. I'm excited to see as a Titans fan who we hire, but like I just want to imagine where we'd be right now if we never fired him. Vrabel guy, and I always had nightmares of him one day leaving for the Patriots job. That's exactly why I had the nightmares that I did for the Patriots job, but it still feels as bad. But Patriots fans, what you're going to see is a coach get as much as physically possible out of the talent on their team. I know he struggled the last few seasons as head coach, but I'll tell you right now, the talent on the Patriots roster is head and shoulders above what the Titans had. Everything I'm speaking right now is pure facts. Mike Vrabel was head coach. But I am actually really excited to see what Vrabel does with a quarterback like Drake May. Like, Tannehill was turns him into an MVP candidate, you know? Mike Vrabel will, I think, easily be able to lead this team to 9 wins, and I think that will be good enough to come in 2nd place in this division. A few more than 9 wins. I feel like I gave them a little more credit than what most people were going into the season, but I don't think anybody saw them finishing above the Bills. Which obviously means the Buffalo Bills wins it once again, which is no shocker at all. I would, again, like, not mad at this, man. Like, who would have thought? Wide receiver is the big question. If somebody can step up, that's the problem. That's the big problem. Legitimate Super Bowl. Nobody stepped up at all. Bunch of randoms having to put up numbers. Keon Coleman to step into that wide receiver #1 role. I mean, what happens to Keon Coleman? Like, does he get traded? Does he get a fresh start? If somebody was to trade for him, what would it take? Like a 5th round pick? Honestly, wouldn't mind my Titans trading a 5th or 6th for him if that's, you know, all it would take. Khalil Shakir is great and all, but I just don't think he's a legitimate wide receiver 1. If they legitimately, Khalil Shakir isn't. He's a good player, but not a receiver that somebody should rely on as a wide receiver 1. Like, if they get somebody outside of him so Khalil Shakir can just, you know, feast in the slot, maybe that offense could dramatically change, but they've got to find a way to get a wide receiver 1. Got to. Want to be a Super Bowl contender, I think they're going to need Dalton Kincaid to step into a role that was expected from him after his first season where he had put up really good numbers. He was not healthy at all this year. If Joey Bosa can stay healthy, though, this pass rush is going to be phenomenal. Also, wait, what did Joey Bosa even do? Why? Like, why do I feel like I didn't didn't hear his name all year. I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of completely forgot they even had Joey Bosa. 5 sacks. I expected a little bit more, Joseph. I don't know why I got into deep dive analysis there, dude. It's the Bills. They're gonna win the division unless Josh Allen gets hurt or something. I sounded so confident, didn't I? It's funny because like a lot of these divisions, I don't remember at all what I did. So like I have a feeling that I got the East completely wrong. I don't know if I had like the Commanders win or not. I don't think so. Let's see. Another division that may or may not be as obvious, at least 4th place, I do think is obvious. That's the Giants. Here's 1 for 1. Abdul Carter being drafted into a front 7 with Dexter Lawrence, with Brian Burns. That's just not fair. So overall, that's why, stop, I gotta get off this face. That's why I feel like the Giants might actually be the most attractive job out there that is looking for a new head coach. Not even necessarily for Jackson Dart, because I mean, I don't know how to feel about him so far. If he stays healthy, he'll be pretty decent, I believe. But that defense is loaded with talent, dude. So, like, they're the team I feel like you give them one offseason with a really good coach. I think maybe they could flip the script. Maybe, you know, win 8-9 games next year. The lack of weapons outside of elite neighbors and that terrible offensive line makes me pretty comfortable with my selection having them in last place, which brings us in 3rd place, the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, not the worst little pick here in the world. I feel like I should have saw the Commanders stinker coming. Cowboys kind of a mess right now, dude. Like, the entire team hates Jerry Jones. Like, Micah Parsons is mad. Jerry Jones. That's funny because at this point, again, I didn't know Micah Parsons was going to get traded. So I probably would have felt more vindicated about having them in 3rd place after the trade. But, what can you do? George Pickens edition definitely is interesting. But in Dallas, in such a big market where things are kind of wonky already, like, how's he really gonna... He's gonna fit pretty good, you moron. Really, I mean, the running back situation is kind of iffy, but they got some great weapons. But you're really only... I keep saying about the running back. Javonte Williams, I think, exceeded everybody's expectations. I should have saw that coming from a mile away. Don't think they have what it takes to keep up with the other teams in their division, such as 2nd place, the Washington Commanders. Okay, I kind of got scared. I had the Commanders in 1st. Predicting the division preseason and just having 2-spot swap, I consider that a mini dub. I don't think anybody thought the Commanders were going to be as bad as what they were this season. A lot of that's because Jaden Daniel got hurt for most of the year. We should have known, you know, when they added a bunch of 48-year-olds. Saw what the Commanders were able to do last year. I think we'll be able to replicate it, especially considering they got quite a bit better. Was very wrong. Very wrong there. Jaden Daniels goes through the same sophomore slump as what a CJ Stroud did. But dude, interesting take there because he kind of did. Because like even when he played, he did not even come close to matching how well he played his rookie season. So my question to you guys was: Jaden Daniels just like a one and done kind of player? Did he just kind of shock the NFL with that Cliff Kingsbury offense? Nobody's really expecting it. And then you just gave the NFL D coordinators one off season to kind of figure them out. And is he washed now? I don't know. Is he going to come back strong next year? Interested to hear your guys' take about that in the comments. They brought in Laramie Tunsil, dude. What a freaking move for already a Super Bowl contender. They drafted Josh Connerly with their 1st round pick. So, did I just call them a Super Bowl contender? That's why I said I should just skip the analysis, you know. As long as Jaden Daniels can take a step forward and avoid regressing and having a sophomore slump, this team should be fine here in 2nd place. And he did the exact opposite. Although, again, a lot of it was because of injury. Even when he played, though, was not like he was his rookie season. So, sometimes in the midst of all the nonsense, I spit a line like Albert Einstein. I think this one was obvious from the get-go. We have the Eagles. So, you see my final NFC East standings. Although the Eagles are interesting. I feel like they're going to do exactly what they did 2 seasons ago, I believe. Maybe it was 3 playoffs ago, where they just kind of had a nasty regular season and got bounced in the 1st round. Their defense has been keeping them in games. Their offense has been kind of sneaky, although A.J. Brown kind of came around 2nd half of the season. I kind of expect the Eagles to be one and done. I mean, is there really much else to say, dude? Their offensive line off the charts. As long as Jalen Hurts and Saquon stay healthy, they'll have arguably the best offense in the league. Oh, see, this is where I say just shut your mouth. Offense just was not good. Saquon went backwards a little bit. More so, just the whole offense just not clicking all year. The only way they're going to win the Super Bowl is somehow if they just randomly click for the first time all year in the playoffs, which I don't see happening. Got an incredible pick with their 1st rounder in Jahad Campbell. That defense that was already very good. Crazy the amount of talent just always falls to the Eagles, man. It's not. That is true. Why do the Eagles always they just always take best player available? And there's always somebody when they pick in the draft that has fell way further than what they were expected to, and they just snatch them up, and they always turn out good. So I just hope one day the Tennessee Titans can be at the point where we can just take best player available like the Eagles.
So let's now roll into the AFC North.
AFC North is a tough
I
one.
already mentioned the NFC North as the toughest division to predict. The AFC North has an argument. They're even tougher.
It's like the NFC North, the AFC North, and the NFC West they're just not easy to pick, man. As long as I didn't get last place incorrect, I can live with my decision.
The reason I don't think so is that last place in the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
Easy
Yes.
pick. It's not
Smart
even
boy.
close.
Come on. Albert Einstein.
Who's gonna start? Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel.
I kind of forgot that Kenny Pickett was a Brown at this point in time. Why did that just completely left my memory?
Dor Sanders, like, come on. The running back who was supposed to be phenomenal, already arrested.
I forgot about that. Judkins, he played really good when he played after he came back from his suspension. He just got hurt, which obviously that's not his fault. I think Judkins is going to be a great pick, though. He really could turn into like a top 5 back in the league, honestly.
Judy, that wide receiver room is kind of bleak.
Jerry
they got
Jeudy was
Myles
horrible.
Garrett, but like that's not going to save him, man.
I think about that, though. It's like everybody talks about how pass rush is so important, but you see the Browns just had somebody literally break the all-time sack record, and they still came in last place.
Third place, though, not as easy.
I didn't really even explain much. I was just like, Browns bad.
I mean, bite me for this. Have the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yo. I hope to God I went out on a limb and put the Ravens in second place, so I actually got a division completely accurate. Because so far, I am 2 for 2.
Their first round pick, Shamar Stewart, literally just signed like 2 days ago.
I never liked that Shamar Stewart pick. I understand drafting for traits, but like if somebody has good enough traits to eventually become really good in the National Football League, you'd like to think they could put up more than 3 sacks in their collegiate career. So like I just logically it's like that's not gonna be a good pick. Then the guy he wouldn't sign. I think he's just gonna be a one contract out of here guy.
I feel about Shamar Stewart like I did with Anthony Richardson. I think he is going to be a bust.
Told you.
Take. I just
Told
don't
you.
think they have what it takes to keep up with the rest of the teams in this division.
I feel like I got a little lucky with this pick, though. I don't know how much better the Bengals would have been, but Joe Burrow missed the majority of the season, right? But you best believe I'm just going to pretend that this was pure brilliance straight from the brain.
Which having the Bengals below the Steelers, I know probably gonna shock a lot of you.
I feel like I was higher on the Steelers than a lot of people. They made the playoffs. They won the division because of a missed kick. So I was literally a missed field goal away from getting this division to 100%, but I'm proud that I thought the Steelers had a chance.
The Steelers, I know, probably gonna shock a lot of you. Here's my hot take. I feel like Aaron Rodgers gets way too much slack for his performance last year.
He played well this year, considering how bad that wide receiver room was.
I know this is just stat watching. He put up pretty good numbers. I know they traded George Pickens, but they replaced him with DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf is good when he's not punching fans.
I love the Caleb Johnson selection at run.
So, I will say, out of all my hot takes before the season, I believe this was my worst. I legitimately thought Caleb Johnson was going to have Rookie of the Year type season. I don't know if he has 10 carries the entire year combined. So, that, I will admit, completely wrong on this one. Completely.
I think he's going to end up one of the better running backs out of this last draft class. And I think you can see a heavy dose of him with Jaylen Warren in this backfield. So you're going to have to rely on that running game a lot, which I think should be a solid duo. I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to rely a lot on both of his tight ends, Pat Freiermuth and new addition in Jonnu Smith. I think
everybody was confused by like Jonnu Smith addition because he just didn't do much. Pat Freiermuth was a pleasant surprise, but it's just like Aaron Rodgers didn't have much to work with.
You'll see a lot of the targets go to them too. But I think for what it's worth, it's not obviously a perfect situation, but I think they'll be fine with the options they have at wide receiver. Right?
Wrong. Although, I guess they were fine. They made the freaking playoffs.
I think sound, fundamental offense and an incredible defense is going to be enough to catapult the Steelers into second place. And
so it's like, the defense wasn't good. Like, TJ Watt kind of had a down year. Like, the offense was just sporadic. So I don't know how they even won the division. So, like, it's just a weird team. But hey, winners win, I guess.
Which, of course, leaves the Ravens for first place once again.
I mean, like, after all the disasters that the Ravens went through this season, especially the start that they had, again, the division came down to a field goal. So you consider the start they had of the season and that Lamar Jackson, I feel like, missed half the games this year. If he was just healthy the entire year, they'd probably win the division. But, I mean, you got to give your hats off to the Steelers. They won the division fair and square.
I
think this could be the best version of the Ravens we have seen since Lamar Jackson has taken over at the quarterback position. Why do I always do this to myself? I mean, again, who knows what would have happened all year if Lamar was actually healthy, but he wasn't. And even when he was healthy at the start of the season, they had a really bad start. So, dumb boy. I'm a dumb boy. What, is like 7 years now? But again, man, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, do we need to even speak on them anymore? Like, they're still, even at this point in their careers, playing the best football we've ever seen from them, and that's going to continue and maybe even get better. I know, when is Derrick Henry going to fall off? I don't know if he ever will. So funny, I saw a few Twitter accounts talking about, oh, wow, Derrick Henry finally lost a step. And, like, the next game, he put up, like, 200-something yards. When you consider the year that Derrick Henry had this season as a down year, that means you must be talking about a generational running back. Honestly, have the best cornerback room in the National Football League, man. They pick up Jair Alexander. They brought over Jadobi Awuzie for my Titans. Malachi Starks, I believe, is a phenomenal... I feel like that might have been, like, one of my worst takes of the video. There's my official divisional picks. Now, I do quickly... And the problem is, even though all those divisional picks were so stinky, this video gets worse. Somehow, some way. I want to point out some of my dark horse teams. Some of the teams I had predicted third, maybe fourth, I think very easily can maybe win their divisions and possibly even go on a mini Super Bowl run. Maybe let us hope and pray here that my dark horse picks makes me feel at least a little bit smarter. At least win a playoff game or two. First, the Minnesota Vikings. Can I just skip this segment? Next, we have the Carolina Panthers. Hey, at least they made the playoffs. Chargers are another one. Never doubt Jim Harbaugh. Hey, won 11 games. Their offensive line. Even with that terrible O-line play this year. Unit in the National Football League. Like, imagine the Chargers. Imagine the Chargers season if their two offensive tackles didn't miss the majority of the year. And also at the same time, where the running backs tore his Achilles first game, and then Hampton, their first round pick at running back, missed most of the season. So if they would have stayed 100% healthy, or at least their biggest players didn't miss the entire year, they probably would have got the 1 seed. Last dark horse, before we get into some award winners, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Hey! I know I had them coming in last place in their division. Hey! Save myself a little bit. I love this dark horse section, and my IQ up to this point in the video was like 80. I feel like it's like 87 now. Sam Darnold can play like Sam Darnold played last year. If Cooper Kupp can reach at least like 75% of his prime, I think this team could be sneaky. It's just too many ifs for me to really believe it. But I could see it. I do see it, you idiot. The gosh dang Super Bowl favorites. Moving on to our award winners. Oh god, the award winners. I don't remember any of this. I'm scared. I am very scared. Imagine I said Matt Stafford at QB to win MVP. With my Defensive Player of the Year prediction, Aiden Hutchinson. Dude, I didn't think Myles Garrett was gonna break the all-time sack record. Had 14.5 sacks, 4th in the NFL, with 4 forced fumbles, which was 2nd best in the league. I'm gonna claim it right now. I was just a year too early on Aiden Hutchinson. Like I said, when he's 110% healthy next year, that's when he's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year. Gonna kind of go left field here, although I really don't know if this is left field. I'm gonna go Bijan Robinson. Not bad. It's going to be JSN, but what's Bijan going to finish? Like 3rd in voting? Yeah, it looks like he's going to finish behind JSN and Puka in voting. So, in my book, decent pick. Again, just like the Aiden Hutchinson Defensive Player of the Year prediction, I might have been a year too early on Bijan. Because imagine the numbers that he's going to put up once Ty Allgeier's not vulturing his touchdowns at the goal line. So watch me make these two picks a year early, and they both win Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year next year. I should have just waited. I do want to say, if I do not get one of these award winners correct, I will give away, let's say, $250 to charity. I mean, there's not... Can I just skip that? Oh, God. Can we please get one of these other predictions correct? Drake London. The R's got to go somewhere. I think they're going to have a good offense. Next up, Rookie of the Year predictions. On defense, where I have probably an obvious one, Abdul Carter. He's not going to win it either! It's going to be Carson Schweinsteiger of the Cleveland Browns, man. Abdul Carter, why'd you have to let me down, man? He couldn't get any sacks this year. Had a ton of pressures, but didn't finish off the plays, didn't record a ton of sacks. Again, he could turn into a superstar, but he's not going to save me an extra $250. I think he's going to hit the ground running, maybe even put up 10, 11 sacks. Shut up, you dumb hick. The other pass rushers that defense has, man, he's going to be free to go after the quarterback, man. He's not going to get double teamed. He did the opposite, actually. He got so many hurries, which produced sacks for his teammates. So I was backwards. Which leads us to our Offensive Rookie of the Year prediction. A lot of people predict Ashton Genty. Of course they do. Any other year, it'd be a quarterback for the Offensive Rookie of the Year prediction. But no, dude, I believe in my guy, Cameron Ward. I'm gonna have to cough up another 250, aren't I? Can I just skip ahead to MVP, please? And on that pick alone, I'll put up another $100. If Cam Ward does, that's another $350, I believe. I have to pay my editor to edit this video, and I have to put up $1,000 to charity. I'm gonna lose money on this. Does not win Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's another $100 to charity. Brother, I might go broke. Yeah, you're right, dude. Little did you know. Why did you not predict that you were going to have to pay for your car to be towed and have to pay for a new sewage system in the same week, brother? Our last award winner prediction. Comeback Player of the Year. Wait, Comeback Player of the Year? Ooh, I have no idea who I predicted here. Can this save me $250? There's another obvious one, especially with my Defensive Player of the Year prediction, Aiden Hutchinson, dude. Oh, no. Who's the favorite? Oh, it's CMC. I'm so sad. Maybe this will be the pick that saves me some money. Now time to get to the nitty-gritty, boys. Our conference champions. Did I not pick MVP? Idiot! I legit don't feel like I predicted MVP. Well, that's another $350. To what charity, though? RPT's gonna be broke in 6 months. You know what, Richmond brothers? Your wish is my command. That's another $350 on a rename. RBT's low IQ. Yo, here we go! Now time to get to the nitty-gritty, boys. Our conference champions who will be meeting up in the Super Bowl. Beginning with my NFC pick. I don't remember. The Eagles again. Will the Commanders take a step forward from last year and actually make it to the big game? Will the Lions finally get over the hump? Win the conference after losing both their coordinators? My NFC conference champion for, I think, the second year in a row, the Detroit Lions. I'm a dumb hick. I'm a dumb hick. I'm a dumb hick. I predicted a team to win the NFC that came in last place in their division. Why do you guys watch me? At this point, I probably actually make your daily life worse. I keep predicting them to win the conference. It'll eventually happen. Now Not this year. Not this year. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. To the AFC. In this one, I actually feel pretty confident about. The Chiefs? No. The Bills? Maybe finally? No. Your AFC champions? The Baltimore Ravens. I know my Super Bowl matchup prediction, 2 teams didn't even make the playoffs. This might be the worst set of predictions I've ever had. Oh, I kind of already said about the Bucks, but I do ultimately think the Ravens are the most complete team from top to bottom. And what sucks is, like, if they had made that field goal, I might feel a little bit smarter right now. Let's just skip ahead. Who'd I have winning the Super Bowl? Confident. Barring injury. Obviously, all these predictions are barring injury. Yep, that's what it was. Ravens got hurt. Lamar was out. Was a great pick. I can't predict injuries. Which comes down, obviously, Lions, Ravens, who will be your 2025-2026 what's it matter? Super Bowl champions. It's not gonna happen. I have the Detroit Lions in predicted a last place team, by the way, to win the Super Bowl. This might, in fact, be the end of my career. At least it's for the greater good, though. Kidding. Have the Ravens. The Ravens. Just faked myself out. That's kind of funny, but doesn't matter. I'm still a complete buffoon either way. Now, if you enjoyed watching me expose my low IQ for an hour, you can click right here to watch another video where I hope I don't seem so dumb.